Greetings, everyone. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. Lonesome Dove, hi. Nice to see you in the building. I told you I was coming on later this evening. I know it's late, y'all. I was so freaking busy, and then I got caught up on the freaking interstate. I think there was some type of accident. I got home late. I had to stop by the store. Y'all, it was just a ruckus, okay? And I had to eat when I got here. I had to feed the cats. You know how it goes. You said you was just watching my other YouTube 7. Oh, okay. Okay. Let me know what you think about it. Yes, it's a small channel. I don't really talk about it too much over here because we got a bunch of haters in the crowd. But yes, I've been busy today. I'm busy every day. I need to slow down. I just want to get to know you, but don't turn around. There's a pretty little thing looks good to me. Hey, you remember Bobby Valentino? That was the song, man. And so he got caught with that, you know what? And I think that ended his career. But I love some Bobby Valentino music, y'all. You like the open houses? Okay, I'll post more of those on the channel. Um, Person in pink swaying hair. Hey, okay. Yes, indeed, y'all. But don't turn around because the pretty little thing looks good to me. Hey, y'all remember that song? Tell me you remember that song. That was the song back in the day, y'all. Oh, I remember those days, man. Can we go back to those days, man? When things seem to be a little bit more carefree, y'all. Because this mess right here that we're living in, this is some crazy stuff that's going on. Some crazy stuff, man. All right, what am I trying to do? Yeah, I got so many different tabs that I'm trying to keep track of. All right, hold on 1 second. I think this is the email I'm trying to get into, y'all. Gosh, I was trying to bring something up. And then my cats, they're getting on my nerves. Every time I get on here here they come, wanting my attention. Okay, good. I got in here. Oh, you said nice drone work. Thank you. Here we go, y'all. I got in here. It's all to the goodie. All right. Oh my goodness. I hope y'all had a good day. Today was a good day. It was 93 degrees here. It was extremely hot. No doubt it was very hot. I'm trying to find something, y'all. So forgive me because I'm doing two things at once. Talking to y'all and trying to find something. So just a moment, okay? Whew, yeah, but I think the weather is going to be cooling down after today. I don't think we're going to have any more days in the 90s. I think it's going to be in the 80s starting tomorrow. I'm about to put you in the cage, sweetheart, because this don't make no sense. Yeah, they're just like full of attention seeking behaviors. Every time I get on here, y'all know how it goes. All right, I'm still scrolling trying to find what I'm trying to find. Just a second, y'all. Man, I hate when I'm looking for stuff and I can't find it. Hold on, y'all. So anyway, it's been a lot going on since yesterday. And it's quite egregious the things that's taking place in this nation, y'all. I don't know what the freak is going on, but we got to talk about some of this stuff. Did y'all hear that MAGA tried to storm the HBCU campus? Did y'all hear about that? We're going to talk about that as well, because I think people probably don't know about it. Let's see. I just saw the video yesterday that I wanted to play for y'all, and I don't see it now. That's why I'm so freaking irritated, because I was just looking at it earlier, y'all. Okay. Okay. Hold on. I think I found something. I think I found something. Okay. 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 All right. So here we go. Yes, Slow Down by Bobby V. Okay. Let me come on here and talk to y'all. All right, y'all. I might look a little tired in the face. Here I go. Okay. Don't judge me. I started to wear my sunshades, my hater blockers. You know, they can't stand it when I wear the hater blockers, y'all. They get all types of mad. They get so mad. You didn't hear about it? The university in Texas? Yes. I think it was Tennessee. I'm sorry. You said, yeah. In Tennessee, y'all. In Tennessee. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen for a second. Mm-hmm. Mm, mm, mm. So, y'all, we're gonna meet Charlie for a second. We're gonna meet Charlie for a second.
I'm trying to see if he gets the concept of what he should be doing.
Check out Charlie Boy. I look good on my mama. I look good. What y'all know about Charlie Boy? Here go Charlie Boy, y'all. Check
Wait a
it
minute,
out.
come here.
Charlie,
Oh
Charlie,
my
what you
goodness.
calling?
Oh,
Look at VGAB. Oh my goodness, this was not the video I was trying to play for y'all. This was not the
bring me the
video,
ball.
y'all.
Come on.
He's a very hyper dog, y'all. Very hyper. Very, very hyper dog.
All right, where's the ball? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
How old is Charlie? I don't know how old Charlie
Look, look, look,
is.
look. Go get it.
Um, my friend adopted him at the SPCA, and so I think Charlie's at least 10 years old. If I'm correct, I think she said he's like 10 years old, if my memory serves me correct. But he was so like he's a very playful dog. He's very friendly, y'all. Oh my God, you're about to go in the
So I'm trying to teach him. He wants to. Come here. Come here. No, you're supposed to bring me the ball.
cage.
All
Charlie
right, we're
has
gonna get it.
Charlie has run
Look,
into
look,
me like
look,
three
look,
times,
look,
y'all.
look, look, look. Go get it. Go get it.
And let me tell you something.
Bring it here.
Charlie made me real.
Bring it here.
He
Bring it
escaped.
here, Charlie.
Charlie escaped, y'all.
Bring it here. Can you see us, Vaughn, on the camera?
You like
Look,
this?
look, 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 look. Go get it.
Oh, that's one of my outfits that I made. Appreciate you.
There you go. Oh, you in the shade. Ooh, don't this feel good? Look, 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 look. Look, look. Go get it.
All right, I'm gonna stop transferring.
There you go. Bring it, bring it, bring it.
Share this tab instead.
Here we go.
This one instead. This is a little bit better, or better than before.
Go get the ball. Look, 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 look. Come on. Come on.
Oh,
Come on.
thank you all.
Go get it. Go get the ball. Go get the ball. Yay, look at Charlie. Go get the ball. Go get the ball. Go get the ball. Go get the ball. Hey. 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 You're super excited. You're super happy. Yeah. You're super happy. You a happy dog. Hey. 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 Look at you. Hey there. Hey. You good kid. Uh-oh, are you sneezing? Uh-oh. You got allergies? Y'all meet Charlie. He is super excited. Oh, super excited. You need some doggy toys. You need some doggy toys.
Right. Skip
Ah, you
a bit.
You want to play. This dog is on her. So happy. All right, he's calming down, y'all. Yeah, you go back. And I grabbed him by his collar and pulled him to the house and got him safely back inside because Vaughn would have had a hot fit. You better never try that again. You better never try that again. Don't you try to sneak out.
I think it's like
Don't you try to sneak out. Lay down. Lay down. I think he was just so excited to be out.
it's some type of poodle look.
Look at him. Animals are nothing but big babies, y'all. Look at this. You're nothing but a big baby. Nothing but a big baby. Oh, oh. He's a sweetie pie, y'all. Yes, you are. So he likes to be rubbed. He wants a bunch of attention. This is what my cat Tinkerbell does. She lies on her back and lets me rub her. Yeah. Yeah. Your owner about to be here in a minute. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. This don't make no sense, y'all. Getting out the car. I think she's on the phone right now. But she probably saw me on the ring camera when Charlie had basically ran down the street. Y'all, I'm so glad he came back.
What ended up happening is Charlie, I opened the fence and Charlie ran down the street. And I was so terrified because I thought he was going to run away because Charlie had gotten away before and she cried over him. And I felt responsible for it, y'all, because she wasn't there. And the dog just took off running down the yard. Like he started crossing over the neighbors' yards and running and running and running. I called his name. He stopped and I snatched him by his collar, y'all, and dragged him back. That's what happened with Charlie.
It is. It is hot today. It's 100 degrees here. My nephews and my sister and my father are all in Florida right now. And they said it's 90 degrees. So they're at Universal Studios. Now they went to the um, I forgot what they said, some type of SeaWorld show yesterday. They just got there Sunday night or early Monday morning, actually. So, y'all, this is vacation week for a lot of people. 4th of July week. My birthday was yesterday. My birthday was, yep, yesterday. So here she comes, Miss Melanie the Chicks herself.
This is what you call Dallas traffic at 7 p.m. This is what it's looking like. These people look like they still going to work and coming from work. And as you can see, Miss Melody the Chicks is very astute of the driving behaviors here in Dallas. And she maneuvers, just like she's swimming in an ocean full of sharks, y'all.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, she reeling it, y'all.
If you don't get out here, they will eat you alive.
Yeah, I was scared to bash on the gas, y'all. So she took over. But at least we know we're gonna get there safely. Okay. All right, because I'm not used to this Dallas traffic. I'm used to Charlotte traffic. I ain't used to her truck. I'm used to driving my daddy's truck or my truck, y'all. I mean, my car. So, y'all, yeah, we're cruising through here, and she's maneuvering. As you see, we dipping and dodging, y'all. We probably could be there in about 10 minutes. Look, the thing said 24. We probably, there she go. There go Miss Melanated. Look at her. So vibrant. She's always so vibrant, y'all. I'll show y'all. We'll check back in when we get there. Yeah, we just had a good tasty meal. We just had me too. She just said she's full, y'all. We just had Italian Street, the Piata restaurant. If you haven't been there, check them out. They got some tasty options in there, different types of salads, wraps, and I think they have salads wrap. Oh, and you can get some pasta. All right, but we're about to head back, so I'll check in with y'all later. I will not. Yo. Okay, I've stopped sharing for a second. I hope y'all enjoyed the little video, y'all. Yes, that was Dallas. Yes, I visit Dallas. I have a friend out in Dallas that I visit frequently. I got more footage like that with us. Speaking of Dallas, y'all, it be going down in Dallas. Hold on, y'all. I might have to put my cat in the cage for a second because I can't have her climbing in my lap like this while I'm trying to do the, you see this? I'm trying to do the live stream, y'all, and this is ridiculous. Um, if y'all didn't know, there was a shooter in Dallas today, okay? And that's why I came here because I want to talk about it. There was a shooter in Dallas, and really, you want to say something to the people? There was an ICE shooter in Dallas, y'all. I'm so sorry. Excuse my cat. And let me go ahead and pull this video up so we can play what happened, okay? Oh, do I have the video? Hold on. Let me find it. Y'all. I hope she doesn't jump back up here. Dallas shooter, okay, today. Here we go. So we're going to go ahead and play this. We're going to listen to this video. We're going to get into it, y'all. All right, so just a moment. I'm looking for the latest update. Oh, they're saying that this was anti-ice bullets found. It's not funny at all, because I'm trying to understand where in the world is this stuff coming from. So are they writing or they're engraving the bullets now? Have y'all heard of people doing this craziness? What's good, Miss Maps in the building? Shout out to Miss Melanated. Hey, Lonesome Dove said hi to you. He also resides in Texas, where it goes down, baby. They say everything is bigger in Texas. Is that true, y'all? I was listening to some Megan Stallion earlier and some Cardi B. Yes, yes, I was. All right, let me go ahead and play this. Let me play this video for y'all. All right, Dallas ICE shooting, y'all. I had to check on my friend. I texted her. I was like, "Are y'all okay over there?" Because they said it was a shooting going on. Yeah, I had to check on her. All right. Hopefully we can get past these silly commercials. All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
But let me start off by saying that I'm a person who believes very, very strongly in the power of prayer, and that prayer changes things. And so I'm going to ask everyone, please join me in praying for the families of the folks who lost their lives today. Pray for the speedy recovery for those who are hurt and were injured in what happened. A lot of it's confusing. Today's tragedy wasn't worse than what it was. So on behalf of the city, to encourage all of you.
My name's Joe Rothrock. I'm the special agent in charge of the Dallas FBI field office. I want to first start by thanking our partners in local law enforcement, specifically the Dallas Police, to ensure that anyone responsible is held accountable. With that, I will turn it over to my counterpart from the
IDF and virtually every law enforcement officer in North Texas for your support. This is the second.
To every politician who is using rhetoric, demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop. To every politician demanding that ICE agents be doxxed and calling for people to go after their families, stop. This has very real consequences. Look, in America, we disagree. That's fine. That's the democratic process. But your political opponents are not Nazis. We need to learn to work together without demonizing each other, without attacking each other.
Y'all, I want to get your opinion on this. Do y'all think with what went on with CK, right? I'm not even going to call the name, the Kirkster, you know who I'm talking about. And this situation right here, you see the parallels, right? With the bullets. All of a sudden people are engraving bullets. Where did they do that at, y'all? So I feel like they're using this as a political tactic and a political, yes, sweetie, and a political agenda, right? Because it just sounds like a lot of political rhetoric going on here. Yeah, it does, Tinkerpool. Listen to this.
And I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the brave men and women of law enforcement. I want to say thank you to the brave men and women of ICE and CBP and everyone who puts their lives on the line to keep us safe.
Because he said we need to work together and don't demonize ICE. You know what I'm saying? I'm just picking up on that. So let's see.
Homeowners need to sell your home fast. We'll buy your home for cash. No fees, no commissions.
Let's see what the local Dallas news is saying. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me play this for y'all. This is Fox 4.
I am Heather Hayes. Welcome back to our breaking news coverage.
And I'm Casey Siegel. Thank you for joining us across Fox Local and our other digital platforms as we continue to monitor this developing situation in Dallas County, a shooting at an ICE detention center.
So that shooter opened fire about 6:30 this morning, firing a rifle from the roof of a building near the Immigration and Customs Enforcement location. This is 35 at Empire Central in Dallas. The gunman fired rounds into an unmarked ICE vehicle that was transporting detainees.
2 ICE detainees were killed and a third was wounded. The numbers have been quite fluid as this has developed since this morning. The gunman, we can tell you, is dead. Officials say he took his own life, and sources have identified the shooter as 29-year-old Joshua Yance. The FBI says the suspect wrote anti-ICE messaging on bullets, and they are calling it a targeted attack.
But there are still a lot of questions. How long the attack was planned? What motivated that suspect? So much to answer. But here's what we can tell you. We do know that law enforcement has arrived at multiple homes connected, they say, possibly to that shooter.
Yep, we've got a location in North Texas, also one in Oklahoma. One is in Durant, Oklahoma. That's about 20 minutes or so north of Denison. And that's where we find Fox 4's Stephen Dial, who is reporting live for us with the latest
Y'all, this is some craziness.
on the ground in Oklahoma. Hey, Stephen, what are you seeing there?
Boots on the ground, y'all.
Casey, we just got here on the ground to Durant, Oklahoma, and behind me is just one police unit. We don't know how many units actually are down this road. The home that is tied to this investigation is further down that road, but we came here from Fairview, which is outside of McKinney. And at that location, we saw someone who was believed to be family members arrive at the home and then go in. Now we know, and we've shown from Sky 4 for some time, that the FBI is on the ground there in Fairview. And here in Durant, we have not seen many law enforcement officials yet, but that does not mean they could be down the road. We've only been here for about 20 minutes. And so we know that this home is tied to the gunman, but we don't know in what way. We don't know where the gunman came from before that deadly.
So you said Durant is 35 minutes from Dallas? Look, okay.
That deadly shooting that happened in Dallas earlier this morning. And so we don't know if this is just a part of the investigation as far as them searching known addresses, or if the shooter indeed possibly drove from Oklahoma. That has yet to be determined. And so right now we are waiting to see if more law enforcement will arrive here. You saw 2 officers get out of that vehicle right there. That is a county sheriff's vehicle. That's not a federal official. So we're waiting to see if federal officials come. When we were actually in Fairview.
All right, y'all. All right. We got to talk about this because this is quite crazy. He says going towards the Cadino or the casino. Oh, the casino. Okay. All right. Let's get into it, y'all. So I'm going to also look up an article on this Dallas shooting, okay, in Texas today. This is quite ridiculous and quite crazy. So let's pull this. It says the site can't. Oh, here it is. Share this tab instead. Here we go. They said the shooting took place at around 6:40 a.m. Remember, I read the article earlier, y'all. I don't know if y'all were live with me when we read this together. But yes, they're saying that this took place earlier today at around 6:40 a.m. A gunman wrote anti-ICE on an unused bullet, which killed 1 detainee and badly wounded 2 others on Wednesday when he fired on an Immigration and Customs Enforcement field office in Dallas from a nearby rooftop before taking his own life, officials said. That's quite craziness within itself. FBI Director Kash Patel posted a photo on. Something doesn't sound right, y'all. Now I am starting to wonder what is really going on. Kash Patel, the CK situation, Kash Patel was involved in that. Posted a photo on X of what he said was the suspect's unused ammunition. It's the same thing they said about this Tyler Robinson dude, which I don't think Tyler Robinson is the real shooter in the CK case. I don't believe Tyler Robinson did that. Both of them up on the rooftop, both of them shooting bullets, and both of them wrote on the ammunition. Y'all, make it make sense. Showing the shell casing of 1 round inscribed with the phrase anti-ICE along the side. Who thought of this madness, y'all? It makes no sense. So, and in another part of the world, Tennessee, somebody decided that it was a good idea to go and try to storm an HBCU, y'all. So let's take a look at this madness, because this is ridiculous. Okay, this is ridiculous, y'all. Y'all, this has MAGA written all over it. Quite the nonsense of it all. All right, 1 second, y'all. You know, they always have these little commercials and stuff, so I got to wait till it plays before I can bring it up for y'all. All right, so now let me go ahead and share this. All right, let me share. And then they said, Charlie Kirk copycats. Those are their words, not mine, okay? You said, remember that movie, Don't Be a Menace, while drinking gin in the hood, and that one scene where the store robber was white and deliberately left the glove behind? That's like this. Okay, let's look at what happened in Tennessee today, y'all. Oh, and if you would like to find who posted this video, is Hype. You can subscribe. They have over 1 million subscribers. I subscribed today. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this video.
5+ News, I'm John Alva.
Very black and very tired of this.
The aftermath of conservative Charlie Kirk's shooting continues to create more headlines. This time, the most recent story comes out of Tennessee State University, which is a well-known HBCU. On Tuesday, several clips would begin to circulate of a conservative group called the Fearless Debaters, who, like Kirk, are traveling to college campuses debating students on social and political topics. The debaters would decide to take their tour stop to Tennessee State while wearing MAGA hats, and things would quickly come to an end by the students in the school who would let them know they were not welcomed.
All we did was set up a table.
Whoa, wait a minute. Did y'all hear what he said? Did y'all hear what he said, y'all? See, and this is the stuff that gets me with these people, because they always, right, like to perpetrate a fraud. They like to throw, what did they say? Throw the stone and hide their hands. Okay. So basically he's trying to play victim. He said, all we did was set up a table, but he set up a table that said DEI should be illegal. Right. And then they had another table that says something else. So basically he is poking fun at, you know, people that believe in DEI, diversity, what is it? Diversity, equity, inclusion, same thing as affirmative action. We've already talked about this on the channel, which I never really gave it too much attention, because I see all of the baiting that they try to use when they have these little groups that they formulate. But anyway, he knew what he was doing. He came onto the campus wearing the Make America Great MAGA hat. Why would you come up there unannounced trying to incite basically a debate with people that don't want to even have anything to do with you or debate you? He said all we did was set up a table, but he was trying to bait them into having a disturbance. Look at this. They are great. They are known for doing this, y'all. Don't fall for the bait. I wish I could talk to some of these youth at the colleges. Don't fall for the bait, y'all, because what they're trying to do is bait you in, so then that way they can play the victim like they always do. They know exactly what they're doing. Let's continue. Okay, so she's at the top of her mouth yelling, loser, loser, loser. Now, see, here's the thing. Personally, let me make this bigger so y'all can see it. Personally, I wouldn't be up there giving these people all of my attention and my energy like this, right? That's what they want, y'all. Somebody needs to talk to these, you know, these children, these young adults out here, and let them know how the enemy works, because they use the same tactics over and over and over again. I'm pretty sure he took notes from CK and felt like, oh, I'm going to live on his legacy. Let me go on to a college and incite a debate with people who don't even want to debate me. That's craziness, y'all. It's hypocrisy. Let's keep going. And he's satisfied at what he's done. He's satisfied at what he's done. That's why he's looking like that. He's happy that he got some type of reaction. That's all he wanted, so he could post this all over social media. You said it's like poking a stick at a beehive and surprised when stung. That they always do the same antics. And telling everyone, look what those terrible bees did to me. Oh yeah, you're gonna see in a moment. He's gonna play the victim. Watch. Kind of like when these people go to the zoo and they tell them not to climb into the cages with the animals. Y'all know what I'm talking about? They'll go to a zoo, right? And they say, don't climb in the cage with the animals. Don't feed the animals. Don't stick your hand in there. And what do? They stick their hand in the cages. Oh, I want to pet them. Oh, I want to feed them. Oh, and then all of a sudden you jumped in the cage with the tiger. You jumped in the cage with the lion, right? And what did Cat Williams tell y'all? You're going to get mad at a tiger for being a tiger, for being an innate animal. Its instinctual animal instincts is to do what? Hunt for food, to kill, to protect itself. You want to jump in the cage with the tiger, and then when the tiger attacks you, then all of a sudden you're a victim, and now the tiger has to be euthanized because you want to be an idiot. Same scenario here, y'all. Same nonsense right here. Let's keep going, y'all, because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for this dumb nonsense. They think they're animal whisperers. You know what? Unfortunately, you have to respect Mother Nature, right? And that means respecting the animals as well. Respect their habitat, respect their territory, you know. But let's keep going, because this is just dumb and stupid all the way around. How does he feel? He feels proud because he got a reaction out of y'all. Y'all doing too much. Y'all giving him too much energy, too much attention. Y'all got to not fall for these antics, y'all. He's not even worth all of that. He feels proud that he went over there and got the attention and the footage that he wanted. That's exactly what he wanted, y'all. Somebody, please talk to these youth. If you are around these youth, if you're around this campus, if you're around these HBCUs, please go in there and talk to them. I would do it myself, y'all, for real, because this is ridiculous.
Hey, tell them where you going now? Because I ain't here soon no more, boy.
Can't even hear you.
Very safe, very black, and very tired of this.
And she says she's very, very black, very safe, and very tired of it. I think that people need to. I mean, I could see that they're triggered. You know, I could see that they're definitely triggered, and that's what he went there for. He went there so they could be triggered. That was the whole point of them going there, was to trigger them, and it worked. And I feel like melanated people, because we're very passionate, and because we have gone through so much, you have to stop. You have to kind of like control your emotions and try your best not to act out of emotions. Stop speaking out of emotion, stop acting out of emotion, because sometimes in the heat of passion things can escalate. And this is really how the enemy utilizes your own emotions against you. They're very good at this. They're very good at baiting people. They are actually perfectionists at this. And when you don't take the bait, that's when they really get triggered, bothered, and mad. As we have seen all week, when I mention CK and I talk about the truth about their antics, they come in the live chat and start attacking. And then when I don't feed them what they want, like an emotional reaction, getting upset, getting mad, getting bothered, don't give them the energy that they want, they still get even more upset because their antics didn't work. So you have to basically use reverse psychology on these Neanderthals, okay? So let's keep going. Let's see how this whole thing went down, y'all.
Can you be on camera real quick? Hey, what's up, man? Like, oh, press the hell. You feel me? Like, it's a crazy day out here. You feel me? Hold on.
Before being chased off, the debaters would post a picture of themselves on Instagram to announce their arrival to the campus. They were going.
All right, so I don't know if y'all can see what this says up here. I'm going to take this banner down. Hold on one second, y'all. But basically it says DEI should be illegal. And then there says deport all something. I can't see.
The caption, "We're here at Tennessee State University in Nashville, the first HBCU that we're visiting on the Fearless Tour. Let's talk."
So basically, they said the first HBCU that we're visiting on the tour, let's talk. Sounds like rhetoric from CK, right? So basically what they've done is they have allowed CK to put a battery in their back, right? To incite what they're doing right now on this campus. So I don't think this is going to be the first, and I don't think this is going to be the last attempt for these people to do these type of things. And I think people need to be out here protecting these college campuses, because what we don't want is for the young youth to get into one of these racial wars, you know, for this to actually escalate out onto the streets, y'all. And then parents are going to start getting involved, and then family members are going to start getting involved. So somebody needs to put an end to this right now. This is getting way out of line. They should have never gone over there trying to antagonize these college students for no reason. That's ridiculous.
Commentator David Cate. Both men appear to have a history of creating content that is meant to create viral debates while triggering some with their strong opinions. Following being chased away, the debaters will post on Instagram, "We set up a table. It caused a race riot, apparently, at Fearless Debates. This was at Tennessee State University." They would even follow up with another shared post asking people to defund the school over the students' response. Following the incident, Tennessee State University would share a statement about the now uninvited visitors. Today, a group of individuals unaffiliated with Tennessee State University appeared on campus without prior notice. In accordance with university policy, any demonstration or protest activity requires advance approval and permitting. Campus police and staff responded promptly, and the individuals were escorted from university grounds without incident. At all times, TSU students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner. The safety and well-being of our students, faculty, and staff remain our highest priority. TSU will continue to uphold university policies and ensure that campus remains a safe, welcoming, and orderly environment for all members of our community. Now on X, David Cate would further the conversation by explaining why they were asked to leave. It even pushed back on the school, claiming the students acted professionally. Tennessee State University.
All right, so I'm going to stop it there. Okay, if you would like to look more into that, you know where to find it. Yes, provocateurs, Lonesome Dove. That's exactly what they are. And they went there to try to incite a racial dispute amongst, the students. They went there knowing what they meant to do. Like I said, I feel like the CK situation was orchestrated basically for a narrative and for a reason and for a political agenda. I also feel like writing phrases on ammunition, and then, this whole thing about the Dallas shooter being on the rooftop, just like the alleged Tyler Robinson being on the rooftop, at the Utah college campus that day. It's parallels. And then you have Kash Patel involved making his statements. Y'all, they are really trying to set this country up for division and into like a racial warfare, is from what I'm seeing. And I really hope a lot of people don't fall for these antics. He says they were bothering the children. They shouldn't have. They should have never gone to the campus uninvited. If you're going to have something like that, you're supposed to actually contact the campus, set this up so that you have proper security, have proper clearance, proper setup. And plus, you need to have proper security in case there forms a large crowd of people. There could be a stampede. Y'all know that it can get very dangerous if something breaks out, people start running, and you don't have enough basically staff members to help contain the crowd. So that was completely uncalled for. And I don't think they should be allowed to visit any more campuses unannounced like that. And that needs to be addressed, because really with the state of the climate, the political climate that's going on right now in America, we don't have time for this. Those children are out there trying to get an education, you know, doing what they're supposed to do, not bothering anybody. And they went on their territory unannounced, unwelcome, and then basically trying to revoke people. For what reason? Now, had that been the other way around, they probably would have been handcuffed, taken off to jail, saying that they're trespassing, intrusion, they need to leave. All types of stuff could have happened. So we really need to take these matters seriously and not allow, what's good, Trishy B, and not allow these things to keep taking place. You know, they're really overstepping their boundaries. They're very comfortable. And one thing I want to say about the energy of the youth, y'all, it is unmatched. It is unprecedented today. These youth are not playing, and I really don't want them getting in trouble, throwing their lives down the drain for something that might grow, you know, it just might grow out of control. And the next thing you know, somebody's taken in handcuffs. And we know that they will trump up charges on certain individuals, right? We know that when it comes to the judicial system, they don't play fairly when it comes to a certain group of individuals compared to another group of individuals. That's why I said people need to really talk to these children at these HBCUs or these young adults and let them know to stand down. Like I'm on this platform telling melanated people, when this stuff first happened with CK, this is not our battle. This is not our fight. This is between them. Stand down, stand down. Because when that stuff first happened with CK, they said they were already trying to blame and target the HBCUs. Why would the HBCU be in Utah? They're not worried about those people. They weren't over there messing with them. You see how they always come trolling, messing with somebody else? They can't survive without our energy. I've been telling y'all this. Don't fall for the antics, y'all. They don't share our history, but they shape our politics. Exactly right, Lonesome Dove. So somebody needs to talk to these young adults out here at these HBCUs and all colleges. Actually, they need to actually have a mission statement written up, and we need to put the message out there that they're not going to basically allow any of this stuff to happen. There needs to be a 0% tolerance policy for any of these type of antics to go down, because things can happen and things can escalate very quickly. Nobody needs to be going through that. A bunch of vampires, a bunch of savages, y'all. Just leave people alone. But they can't do that. That is like, it's too much for them to ask them to leave people alone, right? They're out there on the college campus trying to get an education, minding their own business. Why are you going over there antagonizing them? Why are you over there wanting a reaction? And like I said, don't give them what they want. Starve them to death. Give them what they're worth. Nothing. Y'all know how I handle these people when they come into my comment section. Sometimes I will engage and sometimes I won't, because they're not even worthy of your attention. They're not that important, y'all. You got to understand the true value in you. You have to understand the true value in your energy. Your energy is everything, young youth out there. If you're going to a college or an HBCU, don't let them trick you out of your position of getting your education. Don't let them trick you out of your position of having your freedom and being able to make a difference in your life and in this world. Right now, what we're doing is making America great. Okay. It was never great, but we're making it great. because we're speaking the truth on these platforms. We're saying things that people were scared to say. We're saying things that they don't want us to talk about. And we don't need them to validate our feelings, our emotions, and our experiences. No matter what they say, no matter how much they try to minimize it, they can never erase our history and our experiences and what we continue to go through on a daily basis. So everybody that comes on saying, oh, you're playing the victim, oh, you're living in the past, don't let them gaslight you out of what you really live in your reality. That's what they want you to do. They want you to forget about your history. They want you to forget about how they are. You know, there's a saying, it says, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. These miscreants and criminals and savages have already showed us how they are through time and time again down history. Look at how they treat their own. They bomb their own. They go to nuclear wars and have nuclear drones with their own people, gas chambers for their own people. Look at the Holocaust with their own people. If they will do that to their own, what do you think they'll do to you? They don't care about anybody but their own selfish interest, y'all. So be very careful with dealing with these type of savages. They're on a whole different level, okay? You got to be real careful. Or better yet, telling the truth. They fold when the truth comes out, or they get mad because, like I said, the hit dogs holler. But here in Texas, we got to remember the Alamo. We got to remember 9/11. I remember 9/11. I remember all about 9/11. I never forgot it because 9/11 was an orchestrated hit. And that was within, that was not from a foreign entity, in my personal opinion. Hint, hint. Look at the eye wink, okay? In my personal opinion, that was not a terrorist attack, in my opinion, okay? That was a hit from inside of our government. If you want my opinion, I didn't say it was a fact. I said it was an opinion. Y'all remember Michael Moore, Fahrenheit 9/11? Did y'all ever watch that DVD? He taught, and he even had one about the healthcare. So y'all do some digging, do some research, but they don't want to remember us. I'm gonna show y'all something, y'all, since we're talking about it. Since we're on this subject matter, I want to show y'all something because I always talk about this, but I really want y'all to see just how evil these people can be. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can pull this up. These people are nobody to take lightly. Never take your enemy lightly, y'all. Okay. Now let me show y'all. 9/11 was a stage, in my personal opinion. You said they don't want to remember us. They don't want to remember us, but they have to remember us because we're all around this globe. You can't erase it. No matter how much they try to get rid of it, they can't. They can't. The Creator put us here, you know, to have a past and to have a history, to mark our territory. I keep telling everybody to check this documentary out. Look up on the screen. World's Greatest Hunters of Men. Check this video out, y'all. It's 3 hours long. I want y'all to look into what they did to JFK. JFK. Now, you all should be aware by now that Donald Trump is supposed to be good friends with, I think his name is RFK, which I think is one of John F. Kennedy's brothers, right? A lot of the Kennedys, to what I know, what I was told, kept getting KILLED off. One of them was in like some type of ski incident. Y'all, I want you to really pay attention to these people. You said, look at how I'm going to play a little bit of this video too. Look at how they treated each other before they colonized the world. When they were all back in England, they were lynching each other, burning each other, doing witchcraft, etc. Oh, JFK, it was the Jews. You said the car in the back of his. Yes. So I want y'all to think about CK. Hint, hint. I'm just winking my eye because I don't want to say anything incorrectly here, but I want you to, because I said the alleged assassination of CK on 9/10, right before 9/11. You see how all these things come together, right? Now I want you to think about the fact that JFK was like in the 70s. This was before we were born. But the same antics they pulled here are the same tricks they still keep pulling, right? They pull the wool over your head. They use what's called Operation Propaganda, Operation Mockingbird. We got to look more into that again because I did a video about it 5 years ago, y'all. Let's hear what they have to say. All right, I'm going to skip past this, okay? We're going to skip past it. I want you to see these key players that were involved. Some of these were your presidents back in the day. Bush.
Itself the key to the mystery. A mystery which begins with a very simple question. Supposing you wanted to shoot at a man on a barren, empty street without anybody seeing you.
Notice they said, no, what if you wanted to shoot at a man without anybody seeing you? Now, who got SHOT not too long ago, giving a speech, addressing the crowd? You know, they say sometimes, what is that saying when they say that in plain sight? Okay, Michael Moore actually had a documentary called In Plain Sight, PLANE Sight, which will tell you about 9/11, y'all. But let's keep going.
Where could you possibly hide? However, the riflemen who took part in the assassination were not as important to an understanding of what the Kennedy assassination was really all about, as were a group of 20 men who had gathered together the night before at the home of Dallas oil millionaire Clint Murchison.
Here goes Dallas again. Dallas is striking out, y'all. It be going down in Dallas, y'all. And this did happen in Dallas.
These men were a much more important part of the story than the assassins themselves because they hired.
I want y'all to look on the rooftop. Click, click, click. Down through the chimney comes through good Saint Nick. Dun, 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 with lots of toys. You see them with their toys and trinkets in their hands? 20 people, y'all. So they're trying to tell us that Tyler Robertson did this all by himself.
The 8 snipers and paid them. We even know how much they paid them. So who were these men? What brought them together to orchestrate such a foul and despicable deed? Why did they, and more importantly, those who came after them, cover up the crime with such ruthless brutality for so long afterwards? And how can it be that these men and what they stood for has left?
Now, I want y'all to understand that if they were manipulating news footage back in the 70s, what do you think they're doing in 2025? What do you think they did in 2021 and 2000? If they were manipulating the narrative in the 70s, y'all, they've only gotten better at perfecting what they do, and they use the same antics.
An indelible legacy which still influences our daily lives right up to the present day. To answer these questions, we must.
Y'all, look at this. That's supposed to be JFK right there, getting shot.
Inevitably step back into history. And most people will not like.
Right. Now, you know, that is his wife. She is moving to the back of the motor car because she is like, she can't believe what just happened to her husband, y'all. Okay. The lengths and the measures that they went to cover it up would blow your mind. What they did to cover this up. Everybody, please check out this documentary. I know it's 3 hours long. I watched it with my mother. We were blown away. And when I watched this, I said, you know what? These people will do anything at this point. That was a good movie in 2004. Jack Ruby was also a Jew. He boomed Lee Harvey.
That inside there were lots of lamps and candles.
Let's keep going. So you see where they have the skull and bones, y'all. I want you to understand that these things are very real.
Bush presidents.
Who you're looking at is George Bush and George Bush Jr., okay? Now, in order to become the president, it's not by coincidence, y'all. It's not by coincidence. You have to join, and you also have to be blood related into the 13 families. You have the Rothschilds. You have, I forgot how the names, the Bilderbergs. They have a trilateral committee, and they all get together at a certain time of year and have secret meetings. You don't believe me, but I've done my research into this. Y'all, it goes so deep that they even Y'all probably wouldn't even believe it, but like alien intelligence is very real. You see these cell phones that we have? Do you know a lot of times the material that they make with these cell phones did not come from Earth? So where did it come from? They're going to tell you, oh, we got it from Africa. Yes, they do get a lot of the flat screen material from Africa as well. But some of this technology did not come from Earth, y'all. That's why I said Elon Musk, I don't believe he's all the way human. But let's keep going.
During his premiership, John F. Kennedy was surrounded by bondsmen like McGeorge Bundy and David Acheson, son of Dean Acheson. Kennedy knew these men refer to each other as brothers under the skin. They swear an oath of secrecy and then ruthlessly vow to help each other's careers in any way they can throughout their lives, even if it means committing murder. In Britain, every literate person knows that all of the top police officers are Freemasons, because if there are 10 candidates for a top job, a Mason will always select a brother Mason for the post. Skull and Bones works the same way, and JFK took this problem so seriously that he even made speeches warning America about the danger of secret societies.
All right. Now I want you to remember the rapper named Emil. Y'all remember Emil, right? From back in the early 2000s. Emil was a very, very good, in my opinion, a very interesting rapper, very awakened rapper. She was talking about secret societies back in 2001 in her rhymes. And she was also taken off the label by Jay-Z. Now, we all know Jay-Z to be linked to secret societies as well, right? But he pokes fun of it. Emil said, secret society, trying to keep their eye on me. And then she even talked about Caesar Bazir. You want me to hang Caesar Bazir on my living room wall? Go back and see if you can pull up Emil's old album. I think it was the only one that she released on the label. But the things that she was talking about, she was very conscious and very aware and very woke, y'all. And she didn't make it, in the rap arena or whatever in the industry. But please check out that CD, go back and listen to it, because she was speaking some real facts in that album. Let's keep going.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently.
Okay, so we know that they were plotting against JFK for talking about these secret societies, right? All right, so let's keep going.
The people behind this multinational investment bank had a long-standing racial tradition. Few British people at the time were aware that they only enjoyed relatively cheap clothing because it was all made from slave cotton brought from America on the Brown Brothers ships and sold to British mill owners. Montague Norman was heir to this colossal Brown Brothers fortune. As the de facto head of world banking, he made no secret of his only being interested in the richest 1% of people. And even as the newspapers began to fill with stories of Nazi concentration camps, he still declared himself to be Hitler's most avid supporter. We must lend Nazi Germany 90 million marks, he declared. It may never be repaid, but it will be less of a loss than the fall of Nazism. One might have thought Sir Montague's close personal friends, the royal family, would have been outraged by his comments. Nothing could be further from the truth. It is part of the remit of this film to try and make people aware of the tricks the rich play in order to control how we think.
All right. So if you think about who they call the Queen, y'all know they said she allegedly passed away this last year or sometime. But it was really here's the thing. So y'all know that Queen Elizabeth is not really, it's going to sound crazy if I say it, but not really human. Did y'all hear about her shape-shifting? I don't know if y'all know this, but back when Twitter was Twitter, y'all, back when Twitter was still Twitter, I was doing some research and some digging, because that's what I do in my spare time. And I find some very interesting information about the Queen. And the alleged Queen, matter of fact, let me do this, because y'all not going to believe me. Y'all not going to believe me. Let me see if I can pull this information up for y'all. Okay. Your alleged Queen, okay, is a shapeshifter. And allegedly, there's a such thing called spirit cooking, y'all. Spirit cooking has to do with children. Okay. You said, wow, this country was never a Christian nation. The Queen of Texas is a bosom. Every town has a bosom. I've said this before. Most of them are not human. Look, there's a such thing as reptilians. Y'all, please do your research on Phil Schneider. He's no longer with us. They claim he committed suicide, y'all. And also check out the book by Bill Cooper, called Behold a Pale Horse. I read that on the channel already. But I didn't finish the book on the channel, but I read that book in like it was a few days because it was so interesting. But I'm going to share this tab with you. This is Arizona Wilder giving an interview. And it was a very lengthy interview. I don't know if it's going to play or not. It might not even come up. But she made some very interesting claims.
From the very start.
Okay, what I can tell you is that before I started looking into my life, back in 1989, I was starting to have flashes of things, and my life was not what it seemed to be, which is why I started looking into it. And what I found out was that I had a lot of missing time, and a whole lot of missing time, as to what had occurred in my life. And when I started looking into what had happened in my life, it was the only way that at the time that I knew, was to start going to see a therapist within a year.
I'm going to fast forward this, all right, because she needs to get on with it. Hold on one second, y'all.
At some of these rituals, or at
all right, she said some of these rituals. Let's go back, okay?
From the pituitary gland and from pineal gland.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go back.
The Aryans, and the purity of the blood, and what it's all about is that the blood and the menstrual blood contains something that is important for the propagation of this race that is controlling things on this planet. And these people that are in the organization that the Council of 13 is under, and they have something called the Grand Druid Council, or the Octagon, they're called the Illuminati. And
all right, this video was done in 1998, y'all. Okay, this interview was done in 1998. You just heard what she said. So for people that think this stuff is not real, it is very real. Okay, the churches are not Christian. Pinocchio is you talking about the pineal gland? Yes. Okay, gotcha. Pinocchio. Okay, let's keep going.
The Illuminati are actually run by these 13 bloodlines, which are all of the royal families in Europe and in England. And they need the blood because they are, in fact, not human. They take human shape. They are reptilians. And they need the blood. The blood helps them maintain.
Again, let's make sure we all heard this very clearly. She said they are not human. They are reptilians. Please research Phil Schneider. That's Schneider. Phil Schneider, y'all.
Their reptilian shape, and it helps them maintain their sanity, and it helps them to live in this world because they are not from this world.
Does that relate to what the Nazis call vril power and what the Hindus call the serpent power in the blood?
Yes, the blood has something. It has something in it. It has secretions from the pituitary gland and from the pineal gland, and it has a very strong
Yes, this is David Icke.
drug in it that they also, I mean, this is the one that keeps them from going crazy, and it's like heroin or like.
So my thing is, think about what she said. This keeps them from going crazy. So with all these mass shootings that we're seeing and hearing about, the fact that Jeffrey Dahmer was putting people in the freezer and eating them, who are these creatures and from where did they derive? Like I said, you don't want to have the conversation about with me about who has human DNA and who has DNA that is more shared with an animal. I said that the other day on my live stream, and I was not joking when I said it. Like I said, hit dogs will holler. Let's keep going, y'all.
Endorphins, and it's much stronger. But what they need is, for it to be secreted in the blood, is they need terrorization of their victims before they are killed for their blood, or if a young woman is beginning to menstruate, they need the menstrual blood, and they have to terrorize them to get this to come out in the blood and be secreted in the blood.
Is this the what other people have told me about, that at the point of great terror, like the point of sacrifice, there's an adrenaline that enters the bloodstream? Is this what they're looking for?
Yes, that and this other element comes and secretes out through the blood. This all comes out through the blood at that time, and it's at that.
Think about vampires, y'all. Think about those movies. Adrenochrome. Exactly right. That's what they like. Adrenochrome. This is sickening, but this is the reality of what we're dealing with here. Okay. She also goes on to talk about the Queen.
I didn't really look into it for years, but I was being harassed constantly. I was being told. At one point, I had someone telling me that I was being, and who was ex-Army intelligence, ex-CIA.
They actually used MK Ultra on her as well, y'all.
That bloodline pure because of how they need to use it.
Yes. When I realized that it had to do with blonde hair and blue eyes, I could not do anything about my eyes, and I am not able to wear contacts, or I would have brown eyes. But one thing I did do was cut my hair off, because that was part of the rank I was. My hair was down to my knees, and I colored my hair darker. And there were times when after I did cut it off, they had gotten to me, and so the hair would be light red, but that is being in compliance with them. In rituals, by the time they're brought into rituals, they may be drugged, or they may not be drugged, or they may be in an altered.
Okay. There is a point in here where she does talk about a queen shape shifting. Let me see if
they seem folded, and not all of them have that. And there is a tail, and they a lot of times will keep the tail curled. And and I've seen her when she's very displeased with something, as I've seen other members like this. This tail is whipped around.
She is talking about the Queen, y'all. Let me go back so y'all can hear this.
They don't look at all as reptilians like they do as humans. And thus the wearing of the robes, because if they were in clothes, the clothes would be torn apart.
So let's take the Queen Mother on this subject as an example. We recognize her as a frail old lady. What does she look like when she shapeshifts at these rituals?
She looks like the nose portion gets very much longer, and it grows into kind of a snout kind of thing. She has little fangs, and incisors as teeth, and there's a tongue. They all seem to have this kind of tongue when they're in at this level. The tongue has a lot of long, hairy or pointed projections coming out of it. It's very long, and they have these. They don't have hands or feet. They have these claws, and they have scales, and also scales that seem to kind of disappear into one another.
Sound like dinosaurs to me. What do y'all think, y'all? What do y'all think when we see these museums and they have these things that look kind of like really tall reptilian looking things, like what she's describing with the snout and the tail and the claws and the scales? Is that where they get the dinosaur museums from, y'all, that we've never seen before? Is that what that could have been? That's what my belief is. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
But it's more pronounced on the back. There seem to be lumps or protrusions coming from the head. There seem to be some kind of growth appendages at where, on the back, and they seem folded, and not all of them have that.
Okay, so she's describing what they look like.
Operate in this app because she actually saw for herself that this was going on after she married Charles.
All right, so they're talking about Princess Diana. Okay, Princess Diana, y'all. Let's talk about Princess Diana. Princess Diana was a Cancer, and who liked Princess Diana? Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was fascinated with Princess Diana. Okay, he really, really, really loved him some Princess Diana. She married into the family, y'all, right? And apparently she witnessed some things that was going on with this family. Now, if you all remember, this was back in, this was like years ago, probably like in the 90s. They said that Princess Diana was chased by paparazzi in a tunnel. Okay, I did my research into that as well. Extensive research. I watched many videos about it. And they said that what ended up happening is that she succumbed to her injuries, y'all. But that was not true. No, because upon further investigation, there was a guy, I think, somebody that actually saw her, talked to her when she was still alive in that vehicle. And she was cognizant, she was coherent, and she seemed that she probably would have been okay. When they called the ambulance is when she didn't make it, y'all. They took her, I think, 40 minutes out of the way to some far off hospital. And somehow in that ambulance ride into that hospital, Princess Diana is no longer here. Does that sound familiar? Do y'all remember Ellen DeGeneres? Do y'all remember Ellen had a girlfriend that was also taken away in an ambulance, and everybody saw her pop back up off the stretcher, and they shoved her back down and pushed her in the fire. I'm sorry, in the ambulance. She no longer made it either. Y'all think this stuff is a coincidence? Let's keep going.
Understand it, one of her friends says that was not possible because she knew that very shortly before she'd had a menstrual period. Is it possible to be pregnant and for that to...
Let's see.
They are, but they have missing time, but then they have amnesia for Kate, and one of the goddess aspects, the three goddess aspects, and this DID and talk to that know of this ring know.
Okay. So we didn't hear the part about, the spirit cooking and the eating of the little Kinder. Okay, the Kinder. Kinder is German for kids, y'all. So kindergarten, that is actually German. Kinder means kids in German or children in German, y'all. So we didn't hear about the spirit cooking, but y'all can do your own research. Look into this video, if you will, into these videos that I'm showing you, and you can actually, do your own research into that. Now I want to get into breaking news that took place in North Carolina. Let's share this tab, right? Because these people are off the hinges.
A North Carolina man who allegedly vowed to shoot up Black preschoolers.
Your workflow. Oh, I guess they would go on commercial break. I guess they would. Look at this. Look at this. I'm on a roll, y'all.
The FBI.
The suspect is 25-year-old Zachary Newell. Allegedly said he wanted to injure or kill 20 Black children, among other violent and racist threats, in a comment on YouTube. Brian Trader's been following this from the Live Center. Brian?
Yeah, I'll show you where this is all happening. It's in Carteret County, down to the coast in Newport, North Carolina. According to the FBI, 25-year-old Zachary Newell on August 26th and 27th posted racist, violent comments on YouTube, including one where he said he planned to shoot up a preschool, injuring or killing at least 20 Black children. On the 31st, Google reported that to the FBI, and then later that day, deputies in Carteret County confronted Newell, and they say at that point he admitted to making that comment. They executed a search warrant and took him into custody, charging him with a state charge of communicating threats of mass violence to an educational facility. No, he did not specify any particular preschool, and they say that he then posted bond and was released. Later that night, the FBI took Newell back into custody, and now he's facing a federal charge. If convicted, he could face up to 5 years in federal prison.
Craziness, right? Craziness. But they're worried about going to an HBCU and trying to antagonize college students. That's what they're worried about. I told you, these people got so many twisted, dark secrets. Yeah, I mean, it's just sinister. It's sinister. I really don't, you just can't trust them. You just can't trust them, Jimmy. You just don't even know what to think anymore. Like, I went out there and I got my rifle and I got on top of that rooftop and I said, let me see something. I'm going to see if Tyler Robertson really did do what he said he did. And I tried to get my scope out and I took, a look out there and I said, let me see if I can get a shot. Let me see if I can get a shot. And when I did, I was like, I don't know how he did that by himself. He took the whole thing, he disassembled it, put it in his backpack, hopped on off the rooftop, and scurried on out of there. They didn't even know what hit him. You know what? I don't believe that story, y'all. I just remember I told you, I said, not to say that a 22-year-old can't do an act of violence, but to act by himself, that didn't even make sense to me. And they feed these lies and narratives to the public, alleged lies and narratives. Let me just clarify that. Y'all, it's just so much. That's why God is going super sheep from, separating the sheep from the goat. This is why the divine creator or creators gave us logic, gave us a brain to do our own thinking, right? And they say, oh, you shouldn't question this and you shouldn't question that. Question everything, y'all. Question everything. People don't like it when you ask questions. They get mad, hypersensitive, get offended. I don't care. Do your own digging, do your own research. It's very important. Don't ever go off of someone's narrative. You have to disseminate information for yourself and use your own gift of discernment, y'all. Okay? Yes. Y'all, I would dig deeper. I would dig deeper. It's around 10:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been on here for about a minute. I'm sorry, an hour and 23 minutes. I might go for maybe another 7 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and sign off because I don't want this to be too long. But we can do a little bit more digging into Phil Schneider. If y'all don't know who that is, then I'm going to show you who Phil Schneider is. Okay, so just a moment. All right, just a moment. Just a moment. Are y'all enjoying the stream? Are y'all enjoying the information? Okay. Y'all taking me back, in my earlier day when when I first got to YouTube and I was like really, really invested into all of this, and then I don't know what happened, y'all. I think I got very busy, and then I think things started switching up for me. You said this goes back to the biblical days. Let's dig in the rabbit hole for a minute. I'm enjoying the knowledge. Okay. So, all right, this video, you all, that I'm going to show you is from 1995. Okay. I'm going to share my screen for just a moment. So hold on. You can do it. Put your back into it. You can do it. Put your back into it. Put your back into it. Oh, you said it's good and educational. I don't want to get in. I don't want to get y'all in trouble. Your virgin ears might be too sensitive to hear this information, y'all. It might be a little too vulgar. Let me stop. Okay, let's go ahead. All right, so class is in session, you all. This is Phil Schneider. For those of you all who haven't heard of him, let's go ahead and hear who he is.
All very successful.
All right, let's skip. Here he is.
In elusive occupations with Morrison Knudsen, Bechtel, Page and Page, Aerospatiale of France, and a host of other EG&G and a host of other Los Alamos Laboratory and these kind of things. But rather than bore you with all of
Okay, so he mentioned Los Alamos Laboratory, you all. If you haven't heard of Los Alamos, that's out in I forgot. It's on the west. It's on the West Coast. I forgot if it's Nevada or somewhere like that. But this is where they store a lot of their alien-like beings, if you will. And their research facilities is underground, and it has about 8 to 9 different levels to it, I believe.
those statistics.
Yeah, New Mexico. My apologies. Thank you for that clarification. See, it's a little fuzzy, but yeah, thank you for that.
I've got cooked up a real mixed bag here of different topics, and it's might be a little bit like brain overload, but I'll start from the beginning. Now, like I said, I worked 17 years. Co-invented methods of shape charge blasting as well as laser rock deflagration, which means rock is literally melted or powdered by a special laser combination, and the residue of the rock underneath is applied as a coating, as a liquid coating, kind of like.
Okay, he gets deep into it. Let's skip a little bit, y'all, and so he can kind of get on with it.
Or flying disc didn't come about until much later, supposedly right around the mid-1940s. Anyway, the whole thing here is that also in 1946, I might want to add, we were engaged in atomic bomb testing and this kind of alike, and of course the area of Bikini Atoll. Some of the pictures are over here on the white board, are showing with the.
Shout out to 8 in the building. 8 with the 24. What's good? I'm gonna skip past this a little bit too.
Over 2 miles underground. And I think when you listen to Al tonight, if you have a chance to listen to him, he will speak of, Al's actually been on some of the high-speed monorail.
Let's keep going.
It was a homicide. Other than that, I'd like to also mention something about my father. My father was.
Okay, he's talking about his father. What happened, Phil? Basically, let me just tell y'all what Phil said. Phil said he got blasted by some aliens, y'all.
I thought I was doing the nation, the United States, as well as the world a favor by, I thought I was kind of keeping my end up. Well, it didn't work out that way. I was to later find out that these underground bases are now being employed as strategic bases for, in case there is martial law in this country.
Oh, what the freak did he just say? These bases are being employed in case there is martial law in this country. Now, I want y'all to think about something, okay? Because out in Georgia, I don't know if y'all remember, in Georgia, there was these tombstones. Well, not tombstones, tombs. Okay, let me try to find it for y'all. Because y'all, these people are very evil. And I can't think of the name of it right now, but I'm going to try to look it up. Georgia tombs. And they are trying to keep them secret, but we've already seen like the pictures of them. Like coffins. That's what they are. They like these big coffins. Let me see. Georgia coffins. FEMA coffins. Here we go. This was 16 years ago, y'all. Okay, hold on. Let me share my video with y'all. Hold on. Share this tab instead. Here they go.
I am in Madison, Georgia, and I wanted to check out the FEMA coffins, and I've taken a lot of pictures, and this is what I've found, and they really are lots and lots of grave coffin liners, but also they would fit. They're pretty big, and they do keep going and going and past that dumpster. So they are real. And next stop is the Guidestones. We're on a tour of Georgia.
Okay, so it's the Guidestones. I forgot the name of it, but that's what it is, y'all. And you said there's underground cities under Texas. Exactly right. So in case y'all didn't know, there are underground cities. If you read Behold a Pale Horse, which I've already read that book on this channel, we might explore that book again because it was so interesting, by William Cooper. Please, if you get a chance, read it. He talks about these underground cities, all up underground, y'all. So a lot of regular people are not privy to it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of celebrities know about it because remember when Puffy got arrested, they said that he had underground tunnels under his mansion. And you know that they said these underground tunnels allegedly led to other celebrity houses. You also know that Los Angeles ironically caught on fire and burned up a lot of these mansions. I find it very ironic, y'all. Reminds me of that Denver airport stuff. Really crazy work. Bill Cooper is the best. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And Bill Cooper and Phil Schneider are Caucasian. So anybody coming to this channel talking about you're a racist because of the stuff I say and I'm talking about, that proves that I'm not a racist. Okay, so get over it. Mark Zuckerberg has some in Hawaii. Yes. So, and they also have bunkers. They have underground bunkers. Mark Zuckerberg is one. Bill Gates allegedly is another. And Bill Gates allegedly, y'all, wink, wink, did not actually he was not the founder of Microsoft. He took work from someone else, kind of like what Dr. Fauci did, allegedly stole work from, what's her name? What's her name? Judy Mikovich or something to that effect. It's very egregious, the things that they've done. And I also want y'all to research the AIDS virus, okay? Because a lot of stuff that they've told us about that is not true. I actually saw when I was watching a video about a doctor saying that the government needed something to make people ill. The person that they asked to come up with the virus, they said, well, how much money do you need to make it happen? He told them X, Y, and Z amount of dollars. They gave it to him to invent this infectious disease called AIDS, allegedly, right? Allegedly, because I'm not saying that that really happened in real life. That happened in a fictitious world, right? But when AIDS came on the scene, which is an acquired immune deficiency syndrome, they said that it was first in Africa. Basically, they found it in a monkey. So I'm trying to understand, if it was in a monkey, how did it transmute over to a human? Kind of like SARS, when they said that was in a cockroach. How did that transmute over to a human? Just like the H1N1 flu, what they said that was found in birds, the bird flu, the swine flu. How did that mutate over to humans, right? All of these things are very weird. How all of a sudden the bats, the COVID-19, they said it was found in bats at first. Now all of a sudden it's in humans. How is this taking place, you all? Inquiring minds want to know. I feel like the National Enquirer should write an article about this stuff, y'all. You said, let me see. You said, yes, exactly. Spearhead mission to Mars in April 2026. You said the moon. Yes. They pick people they want to be the inventors, not the real inventors. They're actors. Is all part of the stage. They want to colonize Mars by 2029. Growing hemp in space. That's wild. They really are. They really are very sinister. So all this stuff that's going on about CK, y'all, could be a distraction. And now Chinese are dealing with the mosquitoes at the Wuhan facility. Another illness coming soon. Coming to a FEMA camp near you. Isn't that something, y'all? Isn't that quite ironic? So, y'all, yes, the rabbit hole gets very deep with these people. They're very sinister, very weird, very strange. They're not humans. I don't even call them humanoids. They said they had the Homo erectus, the Homo erectus, Homo sapien, Homo genius, Neanderthals. They told us to believe in the Big Bang Theory and to believe in the evolution theory, which I don't believe in the evolution theory. Because if that's the case, why don't my cat turn into a dog? Why don't my cats evolve into a dog? It just started raining when I said that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, inquiring minds want to know. But y'all, it is now 1:36. I hate to love you and leave you, but you're a hermit sapien. But I feel like I don't want the live stream going for too long. So if you like the video, please, consider subscribing. If you would like to donate, my Cash App is BGAB Clothing. That's $ BGAB Clothing. Okay. You said don't leave us. Just kidding. I got to sign off, y'all. I actually signed up for tomorrow. I wasn't going to, but I said I'll go in for a couple of hours for tomorrow. Help out the little children, y'all, in need, and spread some positive energy and stuff like that. Judgment is coming, y'all. A lot is coming. We just got to be, this is what I feel like. We really have to be open-minded with each other, accepting of one another, and compassionate towards one another, and not exert our energy into stuff that's not important. I really want us all to thank you so much. I really want us all to come together and just thrive, y'all. That's what I want us to do. Okay. You said good night. Guten Nacht, 8 with the 24. This was a good live. Thank you. You're welcome. Haben Sie alles einen guten Nacht. Okay. Shout out to all the little the Mädchens and the little Jungens out there, the little boys and girls. Okay, maybe one day I'll come on here and speak a little bit of German. Ich spreche Deutsch, just a little bit, y'all, and I'll teach y'all some German. Okay, but anyway, good night. Thank you so much for rocking out with me. Y'all stay blessed. Continue to walk in your divinity. Celebrate yourself. And as always, if you don't celebrate yourself, who else will? I gotta go. We're having a torrential downpour right now, y'all. All right. I have enjoyed y'all. I enjoyed this live. All right. Signing out. Go ahead and play my outro, okay? Where's my outro, y'all? Where's my freaking outro? Here we go.